right, good morning. Beautiful Saturday morning. So this is Dale's 1 year anniversary of being a Burns. So we are celebrating that by doing 8 miles on our favorite trail. Well, it's my favorite trail in San Diego, so I can only assume that means it's also Dale's favorite trail. We got up here just Dale. Just after sunrise. Sunrising over that gorgeous valley. So there's a lot of things you can complain about when it comes to California. Most of those things are human / politician complaints, which I won't get into, but God did such an amazing job painting this place with his paintbrush that no matter how bad any of that gets, this beauty cannot be messed with. So we've done this trail a few times, and we're just basically at the edge of Mount Laguna here, the northeastern edge of Mount Laguna, which dips down into, I guess you could say a valley. It's a giant valley, El Centro. It actually gets down below sea level down there, which is neat considering we're, 5-ish thousand feet up. You see my head? You can see my head. And then it goes east till you hit the Colorado River. There's a small mountain range in between, which I guess can help define that as a valley down there. I'll have to look up my geology a little bit of the area because I may be speaking some BS here. But it's such a beautiful area down there. There's sand dunes down there. There's a big old dead lake down there. And then tons of awesome little desert areas all over the place. Some badlands and such. But yeah, we're gonna do 8 miles heading north on the PCT like we've done a million times before to celebrate Dale's 1 year. 1 year as a Burns. Boy, that's my boy. He's ready. All right, I'm gonna pack up and get on the trail, and we'll see you on the trail. All right, I was waiting to get behind the mountains here so the wind would die down a bit before I checked in on the trail. But we just got started. Yeah, I'm doing 8 miles on Dale's 1 year anniversary. So 1 year ago today, which was probably should have been a Friday in January. He flew in. Dale, come here, buddy. I'm talking about you. He flew on his own private plane to get escorted off to his beach house. So I don't know if he knew what he was getting into, but since then we've had a year full of pretty incredible memories. Lots of them on this trail, other trails. Done a couple hikes up in the Sierras, which I can't imagine he would have ever imagined experiencing after the first year of his life. But it's brought a lot of joy. A lot of joy. He's a maniac. Mandy says he's chubby. I don't think he's chubby. What do you eat? Oh, who knows what lives in there. But yeah, so we'll check in at a mile. Maybe I'll come up with some more Dale stories to ramble on about in each mile. See you in a little bit. All right, we're a mile in. Dale's cruising. I'm feeling really good considering last couple of weeks was hurting from the lack of trail runs over the last few months, but feel good now. Mostly downhill, so it'll be a thigh burner coming back up. All those squats and Bulgarian split squats and everything else we do for the legs and lower body will come in handy coming back up out of back to the truck. But for now, we're gonna enjoy the downhill and just set cruising speed for a little bit here until we get to mile 2. We'll it's nice and cool out. Dale drank plenty of water back in the truck, so we might push to the halfway point before we do our first official, our only official pit stop. We'll see. Dale seems thirsty. We'll stop early. After all, this is the day of Dale. His 1 year anniversary, and we're gonna keep saying it. There's a nice poop right there in the middle of the trail. Not Dale's though. All right, we'll see you at mile 2. All right, there's 2 miles. A mile ticked right off. We I think we layered appropriately today. It was 40s down in the San Diego proper, and then we hit somewhat of a inversion layer coming up into the mountains, whereas we gained a couple thousand feet. We also gained about 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So it went from low to mid 40s to low to mid 60s, and probably dropped back down to the 50s right around the trailhead. And was a bit windy at the trailhead. It's certainly been windier last weekend. We had to change plans about halfway up the mountains because the wind was fierce. And I know that this trail, at least the parking lot anyway, gets pretty extreme when it gets windy up here. So we altered our plan and ended up staying tucked into the woods / valley over by Big Laguna Lake. And it paid off. But like I said, about my layering, I had contemplated bundling up a little bit more, but when we got out of the truck and feel that warm sun, I just went with this 10,000 long sleeve I got here, which was perfect. When I hopped out, it was chilly. It's good enough to keep me warm while I was putting my shoes on, and then now it's perfectly breathable enough that as I jog and build up that body heat and pop back out into the sun every now and again, I'm not getting too hot and sweaty. But all in all, so far, feeling great. 2 miles in, and we'll see you at mile 3. All right, we are at 3 miles. So typically this is about where Dale and I will stop for our break when we're doing longer runs. But we're doing good right now. This is our stop spot normally. So 3 miles, going 8. That puts us 3/8 of the way through this run, which is about as far as you can reduce that fraction. There we go. We're exercising the mind too while we're out here. So we're exercising the mind by doing fractions out here. 3/8. Can't reduce that any further. If we're going 9 miles, it'll be 1/3 of the way through. But can't reduce that one any further. We're exercising the body, which is apparent by the heavy breathing, doing our cardiovascular activity, getting some burning in the thighs as we climb up these inclines, and then exercising that soul. We're out here in God's beautiful piece of art. Get a look at that. It really doesn't get any better when it comes to wanting to have a nice clear path between you and our Lord and Savior out here. He's something else in this beautiful landscape that he created. It's a heck of a gift that he gave us. But those are 3 of the important things to a successful, happy life, right? Smart mind, however you want to define that. It doesn't have to be doing fractions. It could be anything that you set your mind to. Nice, strong, healthy body. Not necessarily for longevity, but just for feeling great while you're here on this beautiful earth. Not to get morbid, but no matter how healthy you are, you can get smacked by a truck tomorrow. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you're exercising for longevity. But if you keep the body moving, stay active, lift some heavy weights, run some beautiful trails, you're going to feel great while you're here. And barring any tragedy, you'll have a nice, long, healthy, active life. And then your soul. All right, so for me, spirituality is God, the Father Almighty. He's where I put all of my faith. I haven't always been the greatest Christian. Who really can say that they are a perfect Christian, but I'm striving to be better at it. And I'm learning that as we come into trials and tribulations, that He's there for us to dump some of that onto us. One way as that may seem. But I'm learning that, getting better at it. And those three pillars really come together to give you a beautiful, happy life. I do truly believe that. We have a super awesome life that we're proud to involve Dale into 1 year ago today. As we've said several times. Here, hey, look at him cruise, man. Yeah, like I said, Andy said he's chubby. I ain't buying it. He is a lean, mean running machine. But I talked to you off enough for the 3 mile mark. For those that stay to listen, hope you got something out of it. And we'll see you at our turnaround / break, 4 miles. All right, we are halfway there. So we're going to stop for Dale's water break. 4 miles. We'll probably tack on 1 extra water break on the way back, probably the 6 mile mark. So we're at mile 4 out of 8. If you go back to our reducing fractions lesson in the last clip, what does that mean? We are 1/2 of the way there. You see Daily Boy? Oh, I tricked you. Sorry, bud. Let's give him some water here. All right. Oh, sorry, buddy. He's getting a little bit thirsty. Typically we stop at the 3 miles, but we went just a little bit further than that. Is that a good spot for you, bud? Whatever, man. It's your anniversary. You do whatever you want. How are we looking? So if you want more Dale, more beautiful landscape, or more me? Probably more Dale / landscape. And then likely I am your final option. We've gone a full, strong year, and we still, geez, look at the size of Dale's paws. They're huge. We've gone a full year, and Dale still doesn't know how to drink out of these nozzles. If he did, I would just bring my Camelback every time we go running and just spray it straight at him. Why don't you come down here, buddy? Want some, Matt? Want some water? Yeah, with Ted, we had it down. I could just squirt the Camelback right into his mouth. So we never even really needed water breaks. We would just pause on the trail for a minute. And then, you need more? Are you good? Why don't we call that good for now so that you don't get a tummy ache? We'll turn around and we'll stop in a couple miles to get you some more. Yeah, he hasn't quite learned how to drink out of the nozzle yet, and I don't know that he ever will. He turns 3 in a couple months here, so he's set in his ways. But that's halfway. We're gonna pack up, turn around, and do the uphill out of here. We're at 45 minutes, so we should be able to get these 8 miles in less than 2 hours. I know that's not anything impressive, but what would it take us? An hour and 15 minutes to do like 5 miles last week. I've been feeling awesome today. That may all change as we go uphill and out of here. But overall, feeling great. So that's what consistency buys you. This is the 2nd week in a row. I think we maybe missed the week prior to that. But the week prior to that, we were up here hiking instead of running just because Dale jumped on my vest and exploded all the water bottles. And it was already only about 30 degrees with blistering wind. And I wasn't about to suit up in a soaking wet vest. So we just brought one bottle of water and did like a 3-mile hike, I think. But consistency will buy you that cardio that you need, especially up here at higher elevations. That's enough rambling. I will see you at the 5-mile mark. All right, we are at 5 miles. I'm not gonna belabor on fractions anymore, but doing 8 at 5. We're gonna stop at 6 just for a real quick drink break for Dale. He just ran down the mountain on me. I don't know where he went, but he's back now, back and better than ever. Well, I don't know about all that, but he's back. There he is. There's the man of the hour. This is our typical 3-mile break spot right here. So that means we have 3 miles left, which is ain't nothing but a 5K, huh, Dale? We do a 5K every day for the most part. We do 3 miles every day, which is just shy of a 5K, but you get what I'm saying. Cool. We will see you at mile 6 for a quick break. Sorry, I just ran into Dale's butt there. All right, we're a little bit past 6 miles. I held off on the 6-mile check-in because we did a couple laps back and forth back there, so we're not quite, well, we may be by now, 2 miles from the truck. And Dale's cruising. I think we're gonna wait till we get back to the truck before we have any more water. He's got plenty of it waiting back there for him. And all in all, this has been an awesome day. I feel unbelievable right now. My knees feel amazing. My lower back, I know I have tons of videos where I just nag about my lower back, but it feels great right now. I'm expecting a little bit of soreness to creep in on the drive back. But I think all in all, we're playing it smart with our lifting program. Just coming off a deload week now. I think tomorrow morning I'm going to do a sunrise lift on the beach. So not quite as hardcore as some of my other Sunday lifts. Probably won't be deadlifting 400 pounds plus. But I'll sit down, come up with something I could get done on the beach. Because if you go back to that last video I made of me lifting on the beach, it just felt incredible out there. I typically will do my home workouts down in the basement, and the weight always feels super heavy down there. Much heavier than when I'm in the gym. But out there on that beach, something about it, weights were moving pretty easily. So I'm looking forward to experiencing that again tomorrow morning as the sun's coming up with my cup of coffee, Dale begging for fetch, the waves smacking up against the beach, and pelicans flying off into the sunrise over the ocean. The sunrise is over the mountains, but points out over the ocean here on the West Coast. But cool, we're just past 6. We'll check in a little bit past 7, and then we'll be back at the truck. See ya. All right, we're at about 7.25 miles, so likely less than a mile from the truck. You figure I've done this trail enough. I should know exactly how far I am from the truck. But we're definitely within a mile, inside of a mile. Slowed down considerably as we end this run, which has turned into a little bit of a hike. But I still feel great. It's been a beautiful morning. I'm thankful for mornings like this, for opportunities like this, to experience this beauty. Tricked the camera there. Thought I was going all the way up. Just going a little bit up to try to show you a little bit of the beauty we experience out here. God's beauty. But we'll see you back at the truck, which should culminate in just over 8 total miles. Like I said, we got a little bit slow here, so overall time ain't gonna be pretty, but I think this sets us up for a nice 10-miler next week, which will likely start a little ways south. Another trailhead that I commonly use. 10 miles brings us to I think a little picnic area. I think that gets us 10 miles, maybe the picnic area gets us a little bit more than that, but we'll shoot for 10 next Saturday. Try to get up a little bit earlier and see you then and keep that consistency going. Or we'll see you before then. We'll see you at the end of this run here in a few minutes. All right, see you in a bit. There is my beautiful buddy. There he is. Yeah, truffle shuffle. I don't think you're chubby. It's your mama that thinks that, dude. I think he's got a little truffle shuffle. Look at that gallop. What a beautiful gait you have. All right, and that is a wrap on just over 8 miles in 1 hour and 42 minutes. So what used to be my half marathon time has now become a 8.25 mile time. But it was a great run, perfect run for Dale's final, or not final. Hopefully we have many, many more of these, but 1 year anniversary. If I had to guess, this is what Dale would ask for. I don't know if I said Ted earlier. If I did, I meant to say Dale. But I imagine this is exactly what Dale would ask for. Is a 8 miler on our favorite trail, huh, buddy? He's hiding in the shade right now. So I'm gonna wrap up. Get Dale some water, and then myself going to have some chocolate milk and switch into some flip-flops, hit the road, go home, and do some chores on this gorgeous January Saturday morning. All right, thanks for joining. See you tomorrow. Please subscribe if you like this. I'm going to keep on doing it whether you subscribe or not.